Hello, wow, that was fast. Hello, everyone. I am shocked that it didn't take several. Oh, look at that! That was also fast. Not quite as fast as YouTube going live, but you were very quick between how I sent the link and when you got on.
I was just chilling here. I was doing nothing of import. Hello.
Hello. Of course, I don't have anything ready because I just spent the last hour on hold with frickin' Aetna.
I hate when I'm on hold for long periods of time.
Oh, and to compound that, I have been trying to upload a video all frickin' day. And I'm wondering, I think I may have, because it's the last export crashed.
Mm-hmm.
But it still created a file in my little on my external hard drive.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if that's not what happened the first time. And if that's what happened the first time, I think I figured out what it is on this third attempt to get it to export.
Mm-hmm.
So if this one crashes, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to have to remove all of Leandra's lovely graphics for the TBR because for some reason, like, my computer just doesn't want to download those as proper graphics.
Right.
Like, it says PDF, but it will not acknowledge them as a PDF, even when I put them in Canva and then download them again.
That sucks.
I'm so annoyed right now. I'm ready to set the world on fire. It's fine. How has your day gone?
My day's gone better than yours, because if that would have been my day, I've been like, I'm done for the day.
Oh, I've considered quitting YouTube at least 4 times.
I feel like I'm done. I'm out, y'all. I'm good. I'm just about to start a new book because I finished a book earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark, which is my buzzword book for this month, which is amazing. Look at me. It's a new year. I'm keeping up with buzzword and in actual real time. It will not last, y'all. It's
you know what? Set out as you mean to continue and just see how far that takes you.
Right. You just never know. I might do it. So far, January's, we're starting good.
Okay, give me just a second.
Yeah,
I can't spell for. Is that how you spell productivity?
I can't.
There we go. So, anyways, there will be a video going up at some point. Your guess is as good as mine as to when that video will be going up. It might just go up tomorrow morning.
Watch it immediately, just because you have worked so hard for it that we all need to watch it immediately to get it those early views, so that YouTube like pushes it out and like because you've worked so hard on it.
I felt like I was doing good because it was supposed to go out yesterday, obviously. But editing just didn't work. That had more to do with my brain than the actual editing software. I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
My brain apparently can't edit both versions of a video in a single day. Just not happening. It's fine. But I felt like I was doing good. It's gonna go up at like 8 a.m. in the morning. And then it's like the file just doesn't work. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I was on top of stuff. And then the world came and tried to knock me down.
It's not fair. It's that's the worst when those things happen, like corrupted videos, or and you're just like, why?
Why? And it's one of those things that like it's never an issue until it is.
It's only happens on the videos that I'm behind on too. Like the ones that I'm editing ahead and I'm like ahead of time when I have time to fix these issues, there's never an issue. But when it's like the last minute things, I'm like, oh yeah, now we're having trouble. Like when I don't have time for it.
Wait, did the late night crew delete their Discord?
I don't know.
Did they? I'm looking for it and it's gone. Like gone.
Let me look.
Wait, there was a new. Did they change it? Because there was a new Discord in my Discord archives that was definitely the same group, but I thought it was just the 70. Like they just like I had joined during one of the 72-hour readathons.
Oh no, it'd be the same one.
Oh, okay. Because I just left that Discord. I was like, oh, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah, no, it's the same one.
Okay, I'll have to track down and get back in there then. Wild. Why would they do that? Why would you change that?
I know.
Oh, I should probably post that I posted in my own Discord.
You know, it helps to tell the people. I forget to post all the time in mine. I'm like, oh, right, Discord. I'm not good at Discord. I'm trying to get better. That's a goal for this year, is to get better at Discord.
Lovely.
But it's overwhelming sometimes.
If you are joining and you have been wondering who the winners for the Airs Readathon were, by the way, for the giveaways, they've been selected. I just need to reach out to them. That was one of the things that we did today.
Nice.
Just a heads up for anybody that's wondering, is that happening still? No, people haven't been selected. I just haven't had a chance to contact them just yet. So, what, Brittany, are you reading? And is it your first book of the year, or are you ahead of the curve?
No, I finished my first book of the year this morning. So I'm starting There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I see, wait, is that 2 booktube snakes on the same?
There are 2 snakes on the same one.
So I don't know if you were around when Queen of Nothing came out, but there was a whole thing about, hold on, if I can grab this. There was a whole thing, and I just saw it make a comeback on like a recent book that I got.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? But booktube snake.
Booktube snakes.
Booktube snake. And the reason that we call this booktube snake is because it is the exact same snake that is used, I believe, on the cover of Ninth House as well.
Like all of them. Yeah. They all have the same snake. It's true.
See? Here it is. Here it is. I got my copy of Magic
They all
Study,
have the same snakes.
and they grab, it's the same snake. I'm just like, that one at least has a little curl in the tail.
And I think that's only because they tried to connect the 2 snakes to each other.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
the same
funny.
snake. One's black, one's white. Same snake.
That is so funny. Anyways, it's just that's a fly. I'm like, oh, booktube snake is making a comeback. Look at her. It was very fun. Like, it was more than just Queen of Nothing and Ninth House. I can't remember. There were a couple of other things where people were like, why is this snake so popular?
There was a time where like books, we were like in our snake era on books. And I was like, why?
Yeah, no, I don't, and I can't remember what any of the other titles were because they were like smaller.
Kingdom of the Wicked has one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like the exact same clip art, and everyone had lost their mind over it because they're 2 completely different publishers. Yeah. So, are you liking it? So you said you just started it, right?
I have not even started it. I'm going to start it in the first spring. So, because I finished Yellowface earlier. So now I'm working on this one.
I also have not even started Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. But this is what I'm going to be working on because I need to go argue with my computer. For those did we already discuss my issue? We were live when we discussed my issues. Yeah. I'm not going to go over that again then. I got to go argue with the computer and probably unload the dishes so I can load all of my dishes from dinner last night.
I need to run the dishwasher. I've got it all ready to go. But I was waiting to film to run it because it makes so much noise in the background when I'm filming.
Yeah. Ours makes noise now. My dad ran a jar through that had a label on it. And so now it's giving us, it gave us an error code at like midnight last night.
No.
Before it, and it hadn't drained the final drain. And my mom was just like, I'm going to bed. We'll figure it out in the morning. And then my dad got up at 4 a.m. and fixed it.
That is a future us problem.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with her on that one. So, but I'm going to be chilling to this. I'm going to go see if I need to do the stupid, I think I have to delete the graphics, which is going to make me sad. But getting my video up needs to go up. Yeah. I want people to see this video and watch it and talk to me about it. And then I need to close up the vlog I've been working on for the last 2 days.
I love it.
Anyways, let's take a look at Who we got? Okay, Kelly is reading Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. That was a fascinating book.
That's on my TBR for next week. I'm doing a buddy read with Coda for this book. So
that's one that, like, it wasn't, I think I gave it 3 stars. Because here's the thing, Celeste Ng understands white people better than white people understand themselves.
Gotcha.
It is peak white, suburban, upper class, like Desperate Housewives type neighborhood. And the thing that I've really liked about her books is that she just seems to have, like, that's a recurring theme out of all of, like, because I've read a couple of her books, in her being able to understand why white people think the way they do. And
Gotcha.
like our profound ignorances in places, and like she does a better job of humanizing white people than many white authors do of humanizing BIPOC characters. So I'll say that for her. It is a fascinating train wreck. I couldn't put it down. It's never gonna, like, it wasn't my favorite, but like it had me because I was like, I need to know what's going on here. I need to be in everybody's business. So
yeah, Coda and I planned the buddy read. Well, it's on my These Books Will Self-Destruct list. And Coda was like, I'll read it with you. And I was like, great. Because it's my lowest rated on Goodreads, which is why it ended up on that list. Because I was like, that's why it keeps being like shoved off, just because it's my lowest rated and it's been sitting on the shelf. So I was like, this will make me read it. And Coda was like, I'll read it with you. And I was like, great, let's do it.
Beautiful. Okay. Glinda says hello and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Glinda. My New Year's was great. My next day of the New Year is not
not so great.
I'm like, we were doing real well when we were still doing the reset weekend. I should have just made it a reset week. Okay, they changed Late Night Crew because there's apparently something coming up that isn't announced yet. Well, that's great, but when you have like as many Discords as I have, and then suddenly there's one that you're like, I went through and I was like, I don't recognize any of these. Like none of the other chats that I was used to finding were in there. It was like the general welcome chat and then the 72-hour and the Smut Den chat. And I was like, I don't recognize this. I recognize who it's by, but I don't remember joining this Discord.
Yep.
Like, and I don't think there was an announcement, or like you gotta put something in the announcements and like tag everyone.
And do it everyone. Yeah.
Because otherwise you've got people like me who are like, God, this feels like Tumblr.
Like, how did we get here?
I'm like, I don't know how I know you, but I know I had to have followed you at some point. But like,
I have no recollection.
I have no recollection of you, but I know we had. Just like, come on, guys. So, let's see. Hello, Cool Gamer. Purple Dragonfly is on a work break for 10 minutes, then off in an hour and a half, and will properly join. I will be on until, so here's the thing about YouTube. They really like your live streams if they are 3 hours or longer.
Or more.
So if I am going to live stream and it's not like a discussion thing, like it's productivity sprints, I will be here for 3 hours, my friends. You can guarantee that I will be here until 5 p.m. unless something happens. But anyways, I will be here until about 5 o'clock. I do need to like go out and do stuff, but I can't go out and do that stuff until my dad gets back with the tire compressor. Because my tire is a little bit low, and I'm like, I've been ignoring this for like 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna have to say I can't go to Target until this is done. But he is golfing currently, so he won't be back until 5 or 6 o'clock. And I don't think, do we have D&D tonight? I don't know. I'm not the DM right now. Michaela. Hi, Michaela. I'm listening to God Killer and for the first book of 2024. I also need to go deal with the dishes. My first book is a book I cannot talk about. But it will have me, there will be a vlog coming out. I think it's the third Friday of the month.
Nice.
Something like that. If that vlog comes out, we'll see. I might do something else. I'll be reading books that rolled over into 2024. Snow Place Like Home by Lacey Baker and A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford. Very nice. I usually try to finish all of my books that I start in a year. That didn't happen this year. That's for a future vlog project.
That's fine.
You know?
There's no rules.
Nope, no rule. I just like to have them nice and neat and like not have to deal, but you know.
I understand.
Hello, Exhausted Flamingo. Hello, Sadia. We got Jamie B's books. Hi. Trying to record an end of 2023 video again, but not feeling it right now. So back to reading. Audio is Woman at 1,000 Degrees. Print is Operation Time Search. Very nice. Very nice. Those sound like. This one sounds very interesting. The Woman is 1,000 Degrees.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to look that up during the print because I'm curious.
I have, not to spoil things that I may or may not be writing, but I have like 3 nonfiction vampire books coming tomorrow, and I'm very excited for those. So, hello, Kay Simmons. Yes, I am well, mentally unwell, but the rest of me is well, and we're going to go fix that.
We're going to get it fixed. We're going to move onward from here.
Reading the Lines We Leave Behind by Eliza Graham, but first coffee, booping the light button right on the nose. Thank you, Kay. Yes, please, and thank you. If you can boop the like button, I would appreciate it. And also, thank you so much to everyone who's commenting. That really helps like drive engagement for the videos. Did you see? You're not on Twitter. Oh my God.
No. Well, I am on Twitter, but like I'm barely. I opened it once a week if I open it.
Speaking of booping like buttons, there was somebody on Twitter that was like, I hate it when creators ask you to hit the like button and subscribe. I think that that's so unorganic, and I just unfollow right then and there, and I never engage with their content ever again, even if I continue to watch it. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
That is the most.
It's not our fault. You do the things.
Take I have ever seen. Like, way to be a bitch.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the thing. Like, we all have to do it, because if we don't, then there's YouTube only understands.
Yeah, she's
numbers.
Like, I think that the creator's personality should make you want to do the things. And I'm like,
well, I'm sure
most people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Most people aren't like, oh, that it's fine if I don't like it, because most people don't make videos. So I was just like, wow, there's a video that's going to be coming off of that, although not directly responding to it. But there's a video that'll be coming off of that, so that should be fun.
Nice.
I can't remember whether I think I screenshotted her tweet because I didn't want to deal with her.
Yep.
But I screenshotted it and then just cut out her like name and @ and all of that, so there's no identifying information. Ooh, Kay is also working on their journal. I'm working on that as well. Yep. Glenda says hello to Christina. I'm sure they unintentionally lost a bunch of people by changing with no notice just because people left the server not remembering what it was. I know it took me a minute to figure it out. Yeah, I was like, yeah. That probably works out for them, though, because the people that knew it was happening, like, I'm sure they were talking. Were they talking about it at all before it changed, Michaela?
I am so, because I'm in a lot of Discord servers, but like it's impossible to keep up on every conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impossible. It is impossible.
I can't keep up with my own.
Right.
It's why I don't know if D&D is happening tonight.
It's not possible.
But like, anyways, no, like I understand like needing to rebrand and do stuff like that, but you've got to put something in the announcements and make sure you tag. Like usually I'm like, please don't tag everyone, but that's one of those things where you should tag everyone because
there's some instances where the everyone tag is necessary.
Yeah. At some point I will figure out how to make an @sprinters tag in my Discord, so I'm not tagging everyone.
If you do, can you tell me? Because that's something that I've been trying to figure out.
Here's the frustrating thing, Brittany, is I know how to do it, but I tried to do it, and Discord said, no, that's not right. And I was like, but this is how they say to do it. This is how this bot is supposed to work. And Discord's like, okay, but no. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why you're telling me no, but I don't have the energy for it right now.
Right.
So,
The technology is really trying to get to us, I'm
I
telling you.
just yeah, and it's been trying me. Woman in a Thousand Degrees is very good so far. Probably going to be a top 10 fave for 2024. That is bold to be able to say on January 2nd.
I said it. I said it last year. Last year, my first book of the year was my best book of the year, and I knew it all year. Like I was like,
Yeah.
it's not changing. It is.
I
Tis.
I cannot say that this year, but I do know what my top I do know what my top two for last year, and they did not like barely changed because my number two pick was my number one until
Right.
I read my
Until
number
you
one.
read it.
If I had realized that my number one was coming out last year, I would have been like, oh yeah, obviously this is going to get a number one. But in other news, we need more books from Annabeth's point of view. Okay. Exhausted Flamingo is reading A Strange Hymn. I'm so excited when I found the Bargainer series on KU. I need to, yes. Anyways. Yes, and we appreciate it, Kay. We appreciate that you're
Really
reminding
do.
people. I'm actually going to be so I may have talked about this before, but sometime this year a Patreon will be started. Just because I'm self-employed now. Hi.
Yes.
So I'm gonna make a video talking about the fact that I am self-employed and kind of working on getting things to where I want them to be. And kind of walk through, and that'll be when I talk about my Patreon. But I'm also going to be doing a video of $0 ways you can support your favorite creators.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's one I've been thinking about making for a while, and I just haven't had the time or wherewithal. Anyways, Renee is here. Hello, Renee. It's been a while. Have had a cold for the last few days. Haven't read anything yet in 2024. Might finish up a crime anthology. I only finished the book I finished because the book was supposed to go back at like 6 p.m. yesterday. So I sat down and I finished that shit.
You're like, I have to.
Like I literally, like I was watching Leandra's sprints, and I'm like, this, if like I can finish the book or I can watch the sprints, and so I checked out of the sprints.
Fair. Sometimes you gotta just get the book done.
So, let's see. Hubby just got back from picking up the Eye of the World from the library. Nice. I need to read it. It's back there.
We're doing a reading.
Brianna! We have a Brianna.
Hello.
Oh, I miss your face. I know I say that like every day that I don't see you, but I miss your face. What did you think of Yellowface, Brittany?
I liked it, obviously, because it's Arquan. Like I anticipated to like it. I gave it 4 stars. It was really good. The main character is horrendous, which I knew was gonna happen, but being in her head was exhausting. Like it was like, whoo, you are an exhausting human being. But it was really good. I gave it 4 stars.
Nice. I do not know what this is in reference to, Kay, but thank you for the Happy New Year. Renee says Happy New Year as well. And then Brianna is listening to the I need to read that one. The Anthropocene Reviewed. It's the only John Green book I don't think I've read. I think I've read all of them except for I definitely went through a John Green phase. Let's see. Is the buddy read information in the Discord somewhere, Brittany?
It's all, the whole breakdown is in the Discord. Yep.
Good. I'll have to check that out and see if it is something that I can manage.
We're doing 1 book a month. I don't even know if I can manage it, but I'm gonna try.
Oh, see, here's the thing is that like reasonably that feels like it should work. Like you just read a certain number of pages every day.
2 chapters a day with the weekends as catch up. We worked it out, but like it's still B and K.
Okay. Awesome. Like you should be able to do that. It should work that way. And yet, does it ever work that way?
No. Never. I was supposed to start yesterday. I haven't started yet. Like,
so what I'm hearing is that actually what you need to do first is read 4 chapters of that.
Yes, but the first chapter is not in the audiobook, so I have to physically read the first chapter, which is what has caused me not to start so far. I know.
What?
I know. It's not in anyone's audiobook, so I'm not really sure why we decided
What?
to do this thing.
Hold up.
Yep.
You mean the prologue?
I mean the thing before the prologue called The Ravens.
There's a fuck.
And it's 25 pages long. And I currently need an audiobook because I need to do things. So I can't read the first one right now physically. And I will read it today or
Girl,
tomorrow.
you are being swindled because my book starts at the prologue.
You don't have the first part. They added it later, I guess. Robert
Yeah,
Jordan
fuck
added it
that.
later.
Do it in publication order.
So I'm like, oh, I don't want to physically read it.
That sounds like it was a short story that got added on, like that they just
It could
shoved in
be.
there.
We're doing it first because it is technically like part of the start of The Eye of the World, but like it's annoying. It's a
Brianna, to answer your question, no. So that's why the audiobook doesn't include it though, because it was added later.
Yeah, it was added later.
I was gonna say, I was like, I know the audiobook has the prologue. I listened to it.
It does have the prologue. It doesn't have the earlier part. So I have to physically read that, which is only 25 pages. Like it's not a hardship to physically read 25 pages, but I currently need an audiobook. So here we are.
It probably has its own separate. Why not just do a bind up, Brandon? Like, you know that had to be a decision on the estate and Brandon Sanderson.
It's true. It's like, why have we done this way?
Honestly, as a
very rude.
purist of things, I just say that doesn't need to count.
It's fine. I can read it. Like it's only 20 and it's 25 pages in my like mass market paperback. So it's not even really 25 pages.
Yeah.
So it's not even that big, but like
so what I'm hearing is that at some point during these sprints, you need to read that.
Yes, when I have time to not have to sit and read the books.
So, hold on. Let me do this. I'm adjusting the timer currently because I just remembered that I don't have it pulled up. I'm going to do 45 minutes.
Sounds lovely.
Because I can. These are my sprints. Yeah, I love how everyone is like, what's going on? I am assuming that the information for what's it called,
all like, in the Discord.
We just a bunch of confusion of what is happening.
It was discussed in the very first breakdown part of Wheel of Time of like.
Let me ask you this: did Robert Jordan actually write it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that for fact though, so don't quote me on it because, like I said, I haven't really opened it yet. But I think so because there's no accreditation to Sanderson anywhere in the book. So I would assume
that would make sense. It probably was something that he like that. Yeah. I wonder if that's like an unedited like short bit that he wrote that was never published. Because a lot of the time when you see something with a prologue, that might have been what they were originally thinking. So Jamie says I've stalled out trying to read Wheel of Time for months, stuck on book 2, so maybe joining when everyone else gets to book 2. I read book 1 ages and ages and ages ago and then did not continue on because I needed to reread book 1 because like there's an entire chunk of the last quarter that 30 minutes that are missing from my memory. Like we were in one place, and then the next time I was aware of the audio, like I don't even know what happened with those 30 minutes. I was like, okay, this is definitely me. Where was my brain?
I love when that happens to me because I'll be like doing something and I'll be like following fine, and then the next thing I was like, nope, I missed so much.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not going back at this point.
I missed so many things.
I made it to book 3 last year. Maybe when you guys get to book 4, I'll jump in.
Sounds good.
I did enjoy it. I do. I like him. He is, for a male author publishing in the 90s, he's doing better than some contemporary authors I could name that are female. And definitely doing better than a lot of like the male authors I was reading in the early 2000s.
Right.
Like he is leaps and bounds ahead of like Terry Goodkind when it
Mhm.
comes to having female characters that have their own plots. Like I was so pleasantly surprised that this like book from 1995, the female characters are like their plots didn't not all of their plots revolved around the male
Yeah.
main
Lead.
character.
Yep.
So, um we are not in New Spring yet though,
No,
right?
no, this is still part of Eye of the World. It's like an addition that was to Eye of the World. The prequel we're doing in publication order. So we'll get to it
Okay.
later.
Okay. Okay.
What month I could not tell you offhand, but we'll get to it.
I feel kind of cheated then. Because why does mine if they added this, why does my gorgeous hardback not have it?
I don't know.
I specifically got this one because
It is a beautiful hardback
the
though.
old version. Oh, look at this. I have a map.
I love it. I'm slowly collecting the original covers because I just love them so much.
Yeah. There is
Simple
wait, there
Kaiser.
is he has an entire section on maps. I love this map.
As you
Like
need
there's the
when it's
prologue,
this large.
and then there's the map. Like Buddy was like, man, I want to make sure people see these maps. I will check in their Discord. It is different from the prologue. The prologue is like 4 pages.
Yeah, the prologue's only 4 pages. So in my copy and in most people's copies, we had what's called earlier the Ravens and then the prologue and then chapter 1. It's the earlier the Ravens that's not in the audiobook. So I would assume that it's just extra content because obviously if it's not in the audiobook, it's not needed. So you can obviously skip it too
Yeah.
if you want to. I'm just going to physically read it because it is in my copy, but
Yeah.
I need to sit down and do that.
Let's see. I used to reread the whole Wheel of Time series before each book came out, but have not gotten past the first half of The Great Hunt for a while. I wore out my last copy of Eye of the World. Nice. All right. Shall we do a sprint while I go and cry over my over Premiere Pro?
I will send you all the vibes. I did that for Leandra and she got her video exported. So I will send all the vibes to you that it will work.
Please do. Okay, there we are. And then I'm going to do this layout because I like it.
Sounds good.
All right. Nope, that's a 2. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Let's give me a moment.
No worries.
How did you do, Brittany?
I got 15% in There Are No Saints.
Beautiful.
Um,
I have no idea what's going on in this book.
don't we love when that happens?
So the format of the first book, don't for the My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I need a physical copy of. It's fine. Hold on. Okay, that's where I am. I am on page 19. I got through 19 pages. I also would like to I'm pleased as punch to report it was the graphic, and once I got rid of the graphic, the video exported.
So unfortunately you don't have the graphic, but I'm so glad that your video exported.
Well, so the nice thing is, the good thing is that like I was able to take the graphic out, and you can't really tell. Like there's a moment in the video where I'm like, I specifically had set it up, but because I made it a hand motion, it's like part of me explaining stuff. And then I do have footage of me rolling for my picks to figure out what books I'm going to read. So you still get to see the graphic, and I've got Leandra's video link down below. But that was what it was. It was just, for some reason, even uploading it into Canva and downloading it again as a PDF, for some reason, my computer was still reading it as a WebP file.
Right. So strange.
So, anyways, that's good. And then so for this book, because I will not shut up about this series. I love it so much. Like, I'm already in love with this book because we've got Jade. So the first book is Jade talking about, it goes back and forth between what's happening in Prufrock, from Jade's point of view, and this girl that thinks that she is, or is starting to feel like she maybe is in a slasher. Right. Because like she's noticing the tropes, and it is very funny because she's talking about all of like she's fixated on this one girl, and she's like, "You're the final girl. You're the one." And I'm sitting there going, "Sweetheart, you're the final girl, babe.
You're the final girl.
You are the girl that you are venerating so much." And so it's going back and forth between what's happening in Prufrock and then these essays that Jade has written analyzing different tropes in horror movies, which is why it works so well. Because you don't have to have seen any of these horror movies to understand what's going on. This one, I think, is going to have a little bit more of a true crime kind of obsession element.
I like that.
Her new hyperfixation is different true crime, and we've only gotten through the first case. And I believe, based on that, it sounds like the serial killer was indigenous. So I'm wondering if all of the true crime things, because this is the main character is indigenous. It's set on I don't know if it's a reservation or just a town that is primarily connected to Jade's tribe, because it's been a long time. Thor, if you're watching, can you correct me? Because I know I think you read this with us. I can't remember if that's one of the ones Thor wasn't able to get to. But like just the juxtaposition of like the way that he does it, I'm so excited.
I'm glad you're having fun.
Because I'm loving this. The idea of this, like, we're doing like actual crimes that have happened this time, and then what's happening in Prufrock. Back and forth. So still we're getting I was wondering how he was going to do Jade's analysis.
Right.
This is the, hold on, Kay. I can find this out. Oop, I'm bending my book. Don't do that. The Indian Lake Trilogy is the name of the series, Kay. It's by Stephen Graham Jones. He is a native horror author. And he's written like The Only Good Indians. It's either Night of the Marionettes or Night of the Mannequins. That was a short story that he did. And then My Heart is a Chainsaw is the first book in this series. And it is absolutely freaking great if you love horror. I cannot talk about it. I'm so full of feelings. It's perfect. pause that, reset it. Okay, so, and you said you read. Hello, Neva. Welcome. How are y'all today?
Well, first of all, I was muted. So,
Oh, and we can't tell because I turned off display names while I was recording my video.
No worries.
Please take a moment to look at my headline.
Crying.
That's from December 20 something, where I was
Love
still
that.
doing my insurance stuff, which is funny as can be.
You know, it's fine.
The frustrating thing is the credits that I was worried about them not getting, they got. The 20 hours that I finished on December 29th at like 10 p.m. they got.
Mhm.
But the 5 hours that I did that are the required 5 hours,
Yep.
they have the transcript, but they didn't credit it towards my CEs. So I had to send an email going, hey, here's the email saying that you got this and you applied it. So, anyways, again, sorry. How are you doing, Eva?
I'm doing great. We're moved, so it's great. I was trying to angle it so you can't see the mess that is these shelves over here. Because are they organized yet? No.
Well, you're moving. Like you've moved, but like it's a process to be unmoved, you know?
You can still see part of my book haul back there. So,
Right.
like, you're not the only one.
Trust me, if I turn this computer around, y'all, that's you don't see that side of the room.
Oh my God.
Not pretty.
That's fair. But we're moved, so that's great,
Good.
I guess. I'm not reading The Sinner. I finished that over Christmas week.
Okay.
Mhm.
What am I reading? Oh, I'm reading Fourth Wing.
Okay. Good luck.
It's fine.
God
Yep.
bless. Well, it's gonna be 5 stars.
Ari says hi.
Hey,
Say
Ari.
Hi, honey.
It's not gonna be 5 stars.
No,
sorry.
I didn't anticipate it to be.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And the looks that I got on sprints with Courtney last night, I think a lot of the people on her sprints might have given this book 5 stars.
A lot of people did.
It's
You are
the,
not with those people now, though, so it's okay.
it's the writing for me.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, if it has like a really, I mean, the dragons are cool, but like if it has a good-ish ending, it'll be like a 3.
The ending is the only reason it got 3 stars for me.
The ending's good.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a good ending, it'll get 3 stars, but it's not gonna get more than that. It's just
I was considering reading Iron Flame
No.
because of that ending, but then I found out that like not only is Rebecca Yarros like the mess that she is in that book, but she's also apparently a massive Zionist. So I was like,
yeah.
I have better things to do with my life.
Truly, I'm only reading it because I own it. I'm
Yeah.
about to not own it in physical format because I'm going to send it to Nell. But I own it in all 3 formats currently, and I let Ari pick my first book of 2024, and I knew that's what she would pick was Fourth Wing. So I was like, that's fine. I wanted to read it 2023 anyway. I will say that now that like my expectation has died down for it,
That probably helps a little bit, to be honest.
because I
think
went into
that
it.
did help the process.
Yeah,
for
I
me.
went into it with it being like everybody else. I was like, this is gonna be a highly anticipated read of 2023, all that. And I think that's why I hated it so much trying to read it the first time. Was because I was like, this is not at all.
No, it was it was written for like the people who love ACOTAR and From Ash and Blood, and those are very like your brain doesn't need to be on to read them books.
You're doing my hair. Can I watch?
Yeah, but I don't like. So I finished the second ACOTAR book, and I just don't even feel like Fourth Wing is on par with ACOTAR.
No, not.
Oh no,
I like, you know what I mean.
And I'm not a big Sarah J. Maas fan, as we know, but
it reads much more like the Divergent series.
I was gonna say it is the Divergent to ACOTAR's The Hunger Games.
Yes.
You know, like
yeah.
you can see every single trope that she's trying to do, and it's not that she's trying to do the tropes; it's that And I honestly think that if she'd gone through and done another proper developmental edit, it would have been fine because the ideas in there are good. It's just the execution that is like,
Mhm.
man, who told you this was a good idea?
And that's the thing is, I like as I'm reading / listening to it, because I'm kind of jumping between my Kindle and my whatever, and my Audible, because I'm also reading Dungeons and Drama. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't know where my Kindle is. Oh, here it is. Yes, Dungeons and Drama, because this comes out like next week, so I need to read it. I thought this was adult, but it's not. It's definitely YA.
Mhm.
But that's fine. Like it's cute. I just had to kind
Yeah.
of
It's your
change
mindset, though. Yep.
yeah, because I went into this and I saw that it was like cutesy. I didn't pay very much attention to the publisher.
Mhm.
I just thought that it was like a cute cover, so I was like, oh, I want to read this. This seems cute. And then
Oh,
so I was
yeah,
like,
I want to read this one.
yeah, so I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a smutty little contemporary romance. And then it said like something children's, and I was like, okay. So I had to like recenter myself, and I was like, all right, this is just gonna be like a cute little rom-com. No smut, hopefully, because I'm not reading teenagers having sexy time.
I mean, if it's in there, you can skip. It's usually like a page. And
I'll
skip
just skip
Right.
it because it wasn't intended for me to read. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Correct.
But I think that this will be really like cute or whatever. But the idea of Fourth Wing is really good. Just someone else should have done it, I think.
Yeah.
The execution's not there.
So I talked about this in my Fourth Wing or my BookNet Fest vlog. But the production, from what I understand from Mari over at My Name is Marinez, and she has a video that I've linked in that video, also her video on Fourth Wing, which is very, very good if you want to look into some of like Red Tower Press and all of that. But it was very rushed because Red Tower Press specifically at the time, it sounds like they may have adjusted that, but they specifically were trying to get people to release every 6 months.
Which is a ridiculous time frame, especially for fantasy writers.
For a romantasy, yeah, absolutely no.
No. It's just not for quality. You're never gonna have it. No, it's not possible.
I mean,
I don't anticipate wanting to read Iron Flame. I'm gonna be honest. I think we're gonna stop at Fourth Wing. I'm not gonna be like one of these girlies out here just buying all the merch. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So. But
no, I didn't read Iron Flame either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just it's not great. You know what I mean? It's just not.
Yeah, it's all right, and I liked a lot of the ideas, and I do wish that she'd had a little bit more time, but like the military propaganda in there, and then it's very funny because if you grew up evangelical, there is a specific like scene, I can't remember which one it was, but like so much of the relationship in there is very much steeped in like the language and the ideology of the bride and or Christ in the church as his bride.
Mm-hmm.
like kind of some of the ideas there. Oh yeah, her belief system is definitely in there.
So in there.
Like I just don't feel like I just don't feel like it has me, like, Fourth Wing doesn't have me gripped enough to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to continue with this series. Like, it's going to be one of those that I read the first book and then call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. I understand that. Ro is here. Welcome, welcome. We've also got Rally reading Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Oh, Ro says he borrowed the first Wheel of Time book last night on Libby.
Yay.
Nice. Kelly got 17% in. Very, very good. Did not do much, just trying to find that prologue to the prologue.
Christina, we pretty much have discussed, so during the sprint, we discussed it that we're basically all skipping it. So it's fine. And we're just going to read with the audiobook.
Oh my God.
I did not
We've
want to
all decided this as a collective. That
it's definitely not in the audiobook because I started the audiobook last night at work because it gave me something to listen to. And then I went and I looked at my physical, because one of the books that made it here before everything else was my copy of that, because I knew we were going to read it. And I was like, this whole section is not even in
No, it's not. And Bethany, who has read the books before, she's rereading with us, said like it's you get all the information later, so like you're not missing anything. And I was like, oh,
That
okay.
almost sounds like it would spoil things.
It could. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like Bethany was like, don't, it's not worth it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And if you've already read it, you would know. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
that makes
great.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So I'm just going to skip it. Because I can also then I can just like get started with the audiobook.
Yeah, it sounds like
tonight. So
if you don't hold on, because I am looking, I've been looking while we were talking, for this like short story, and it's looking like if you don't have that specific edition, you can't
get it. Yeah, it's and there are some series that have like those exclusive.
Yeah, I wonder if that's
or
what's going on
what
there.
have you. And I think that might be the case. So I think that's kind of like why we're all just kind of like, you know what?
Yeah, that's
It's
smart.
clearly unnecessary.
Wait.
So like, let's just start.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I should buy the rest of the books.
You can get them from the library. I honestly, if you're unsure about it, I just get them from the library until you
'Cause
know whether or not you want to keep it.
I have access to all of them on audio. Because and do I need the physicals? Or I feel like I can listen to these while diamond painting.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I want them because I want to be able to take notes as I'm reading.
Yeah.
But that's me having read them the first time and been like,
and I'm not I'm not a first read annotator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is my second read.
Yeah. So cause like that's why Legendborn, my copy of Legendborn is annotated now, but it took me 3 times. Like I read it 3 times before I annotated it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to know exactly what I want to annotate.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not one to just like highlight
Usually,
every.
if it's like part of it.
People that are first time annotators, like I don't care, but like, but I like to enjoy it first and then annotate it later.
Mm-hmm.
See, I enjoy the process of annotating as well because that's like where I put all of my like, wait, what the heck? And like, oh, I see this happening or called this here. I put those in, but I usually only do that if it's like a sequel. If I'm reading it for the first time, I'm probably not going to annotate that much unless I'm specifically needing to take notes for stuff.
Right.
But like this, it's back over there. But as someone who like reads a lot of big, heavy fantasy, I'm like this. There's so much going on here. This is the same reason I have Way of Kings in hardback because I want to be able to physically like take notes as I go through this series because there are going to be so many different things.
There's a lot of characters. There's a lot happening in Wheel of Time. So I'm excited to dive in.
So much. Rally got to 50% in her book. Renee read 45 pages, almost finished with the story I am reading at the moment. Just one story after that. Beautiful. Michaela says, I did the dishes, cleaned the countertops, and made myself a snack. Ooh, we love a good snack. Kay Simmons, and I had to remove my cat from my journal. She really liked it there. Apparently, Rally says you and Ari were twinning when it came to your facial expressions there for a minute.
They have a tendency.
I mean,
but don't tell her that she looks like me.
No.
Because she'll say, I do not look like my mother.
She looks like herself.
Yeah, I don't look like mommy.
No, you look like yourself, right?
I don't look like mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you got good genes. Don't worry about it.
Right?
I believe
you keep saying when I'm in the sunlight, I turn brown.
You do. You get tan in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got to 48% in Woman in 1,000 Degrees. Old Icelandic lady with only a few weeks left to live has been messing with her family, making fake social media accounts.
This sounds so fun.
I want to be this old lady.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to have only a few weeks to. I mean, at some point, I will only have a few weeks to live, but like to mess with your family and do stuff.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Renee agrees the PGA series is great. A highlight of my week. Hope we get news that season 2 will happen soon. I love it. I am not really talking about it on my social medias unless it's like in vlogs. Because I do know that a lot of people are getting I just don't want to deal with the people that are like, why aren't you boycotting it? And I'm just like, okay, fine. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm not the one. I don't pay for Disney Plus. So,
Wait, what happened with Disney? I'm confused.
so in addition to the BDS boycott, and that's the thing. In addition to the BDS boycott, there are people that are also boycotting Starbucks, which you should, because they are a huge native land abuser, or native water rights abuser. I've been boycotting them since 2018, but they're boycotting Starbucks, McDonald's, and Disney. Both Starbucks and McDonald's BDS has noted and Disney are properties that are being boycott or not, that are part of fan or not fan, like it's not official BDS boycott, but they have acknowledged them. But because Disney is Disney, there are other things that that are being done, and it's more on a kind of a corporate and a pressure level that Disney is being affected. It is not a true boycott. Hence why I'm not worried. You're not worried about it, but I'm not keeping it to it as religiously as I'm keeping to like the BDS boycott, or for example, the St. Martin's Press boycott.
Right.
Because those all have actionable steps that you can take rather than just people speculating on the internet about what needs to be done. So I take
is I can't boycott Disney in my house because someone likes Bluey and everything.
A little too much.
I understand that. I understand that.
Now I will. Here's the thing. I've done boycotts in the past around things like that where I have just boycotted myself. If that makes sense. Like I've not maybe like I don't really consume that much Disney Plus, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mostly Ari does, but unless someone else wants to come entertain my autistic 6-year-old when all she wants to do is watch some Bluey, I'm gonna have to pass.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I am with the Starbucks boycott. Like I said, I've been boycotting them since 2018. When they signed the deal with Nestle, I haven't. Like I tried going back one time, and they'd gotten rid of my drink.
And that was the end.
Yeah, that was after 2020. Yep. I was like, you know what? And there was like that, like they had gotten rid of my drink, and then they were doing union busting. I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a permanent boycott. Like I don't even need. But it's one of those things. I'm not boycotting Starbucks because I think that me boycotting it is going to do anything.
Change anything.
I'm boycotting Starbucks because I don't want my money going to them.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I own 2 Starbucks cups that I didn't even buy myself. My brother bought them. And he bought them because he was trying to be nice. They're like pink.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. But like I don't drink Starbucks. Like if I'm gonna get coffee out, I'll go to like Dunkin'. Like
I make mine at home at this point.
I mean, we all know where I go get coffee, so it's
right. And like and 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna make it at home. So
yeah. So like for me, it's more of a I understand people who do not want their money going there. My money is not going there either. But I have access to it, so I'm still watching the Percy Jackson series. Number one, because it's just like, if this does badly, you know they're going to blame it on Leah. It's not going to be, there was a boycott going. It's not going to be, there was bad writing. They're going to be, they race bent the characters. And I'm sorry, I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
But like it's one of those things that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep quiet about. Like I'm not gonna talk about it and promote it on social media because I understand that. But I'm not boycotting Disney. That's there is no point in the effort that's going into it. I am more than happy to boycott anything that you're like, these are the actionable steps that you can take from BDS or from another group that is collectively like organizing and coming out with stuff. But it's the same problem with having a general strike in the United States, because people keep talking about wanting a general strike, but it's always like grassroots organizations of a few people who are like, we should do a general strike on this date, and no thought for the wider thing. So if you can give me specific stuff that I can participate and do, great. But Disney is not any worse than any of the other corporations out there to me.
Am I ever going to be able to
I can't cease consumption of everything. So that's why I'm sticking to the targeted list that is the worst offenders, like directly traceable worst offenders. And then Starbucks and McDonald's, like we said, I don't go anyways. Kay wants to know how winter break is going for Ari.
It's going fine.
5-star fine.
It didn't sound like 5-star fine. It sounded more like fine.
Well, if anyone just saw what I was doing, someone decided to so
We all have that face.
this has not been a thing that's happened yet, and I will probably have to take her to Dolly to get it shaped up because I don't think
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about me, aren't you?
it's fine. I don't think I did it very well. I'm not a hairdresser. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But she starts her new school on Thursday. And she could not go to school with the way.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I mean, it was going swimmingly.
It can go up in a ponytail. It's fine.
And then she was
100%.
like, I want short hair. So I was like, okay, well, let me make an arrangement. And instead of letting me make an arrangement, she just
Started. I
Okay.
understand.
It's not my
She
favorite,
just
it's my
decided to
favorite.
take it into her own hands. Which
Independent woman.
I feel like it was overdue. She's 6.
Yeah.
But I remember my sister doing this at like 3. You know what I mean?
Oh,
100%.
I never did that. I have a friend that did on accident. She was playing around with scissors, and like for some reason she had them
Here.
up here, and she closed them and realized that
That's through his hair.
she'd closed them on some of her hair. Yeah, she had this really weird little thing here. Renee says, seems like you either love Fourth Wing or hate it from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
and there's
alright.
definite, I feel like there is a trend in what people like to read and
Okay, let's
consume
see.
and how critically they like to look at their books a lot of the
Mhm.
time, and who reads it and enjoys it and who doesn't.
I might have to trim up your bangs.
Going to be honest about that, it was middle of the road for me. It was stunningly mediocre for me.
Probably fine.
Like I could have rewritten the whole thing in a day and it would have been better in my opinion. I loved it all except the sex scenes. Love scenes with Fourth Wing. I'll be reading the second one. I'm happy everyone likes different kinds of books for sure. That was one of my big peeves about Fourth Wing because at a certain point, if you are having sex with your partner and your partner keeps not protesting, but like saying things in the way that Xaden is saying things during like the 1 or 2 sex scenes that we have,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the time to stop being like, just fuck me and be like, hey, can we check in? Are you like let's talk through this. Because it I wouldn't say it go as far as to say that it was dubious consent, but it just felt like a check-in was needed there.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. After coming off of a book, because my last book of the year was A Court of Mist and Fury, but the book that I actually completed enough before that was The Sinner by Chantal Tessier or whatever the hell her name is. That was like the darkest thing I've ever read as far as dark romance. Like there was a lot of CNC in there. There was a lot of non-con in there. Like, and then like Fourth Wing, I'm like, I don't feel like this is how it's supposed to read. Like I feel like it's supposed to be like a fun time, and I feel a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, it was one of those things that I was like, we're not, it just didn't feel like we were getting enthusiastic consent in at least in the first scene. And it did make me a little bit weird and uncomfortable, especially with the politics that Xaden is a man of color. So like, it's like when you have that layered on all the other stuff and then how he's treated and like,
it's gonna be too big, but you can wear it.
Yeah, it's just it is. Brianna is back, had a call, so I didn't read in the last sprints. Michaela says it's a junk food. It definitely is. It's one that you read and you can't put down. Like you cannot put it down.
Right.
And like I said, the ending had me screaming. But yeah, it is a junk food book. But like I said, in the same way that I feel like while they are better, it is better written. Like ACOTAR is a junk. Like the primary draw of ACOTAR is just that you cannot put it down. It is so interesting and complex, and also it's very steamy. Max says, despite me never having read Divergent, I always felt that it was Veronica Roth's attempt at HPing Hunger Games. HPing or RPing, role playing. That's funny. That's what I've seen multiple people like talk about the fact that Veronica Roth very clearly was trying to do a dystopian without understanding like why dystopians work in the first place and kind of what they're trying to it was
You might have it pop.
Oh my god, what's Hannah? Hannah from A Clockwork Reader. She has her worst books of all time, like tier ranking them video. And she talked about the selection, and she talked about and she mentioned Divergent in that. So like, I know ACOTAR isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it was at least kind of decently written.
Mhm.
And you can see the rushed timeline in Fourth Wing. You just can't know anything from an author's perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Brianna says, I'm in the minority and I liked Iron Flame more. The fantasy plot was better in Iron Flame, but the romance was.
I don't know. There's just nothing like intriguing enough. Like, I feel like if you are gonna, especially if I have to commit to like, how many books is this supposed to be? Like 6 books?
Mm-hmm.
If I have to commit to a Harry Potter size series,
yeah, exactly.
One of Glass size series, you need to like give me something to work with here.
Like I said, it's very interesting to like. It feels like almost like she's self-correcting in the way that Christopher Paolini self-corrected. When people gave him all of the feedback about Aragon, although he kind of self-corrected in the wrong direction. I do not condone reading Iron Flame just because, again, the author has posted some gross Zionist stuff, so I will not be reading it. Awesome. Purple Dragonfly says, work done for today. Now tourism reading The House Witch, book 2 for the cozy spot on the TBR-a-thon map, and the main character owns a pet on the game board. A pet on the
That makes more sense.
We love what is this buddy read? The Eye of Time. The Eye of the World buddy read, right?
Yeah, we're doing all of Wheel of Time. Yeah.
So, okay, beautiful. And then let's see. Oop, Ro came back. He's making fries and a burger. Nice. Just not going to read it and enjoy the show, despite apparently being very different because of the. Oh, okay. I would have. I mean, yeah, I guess there is a little bit of that in the first book. I'm not sure about. It's advanced for its time, but it does still have a lot of like the traditional gender dynamics. I do like some of how he examines that, and I had hopes for like what he'll do later on in the books, but I don't know. I can't. Honestly, I'll only read it if Rosamund Pike narrates them all. I cannot. Let's see. For Christmas, my husband got me a cold brew coffee maker, and I'm so happy I can make my own coffee at home now. Yeah,
that's a good gift.
Mine was easy because it's basically just passion tea with apple juice, and I can do it more concentrated at home, so it's better. Yes, we saw that.
I mean, it was going fine. You know what I'm saying? And then she did it today. That's the whole thing. Because I was like, yeah, we're gonna deep condition your hair. We're gonna wash it. We're gonna do all the things, right? And I'm like putting the deep conditioner in, and I was like, why? Like, at first I was like, maybe I'm tripping, right? So I was like, it's fine. So I put the deep conditioner in, I wrapped it up, I let it sit for an hour, and then I'm like rinsing it out in the shower, and I was like, there's definitely like hair missing, like a chunk of hair. Like, so I was like, Ari, did you cut your hair? And she was like, no, Mom. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, no, I didn't. She was like, I didn't cut it. I didn't cut my hair. And I was like, okay. So I was like, all right. So I was like, the only scissors that I have are these, which are my diamond painting scissors. And so I was like, all right, I was like, let's go back to the room and I'll comb it out, whatever. And I start combing it out and I was like, there's definitely like a chunk. Like there's just like this big chunk out of the back of her head, just like missing. Like if I had put it up into a ponytail, like you would have been able to tell like where she cut it, and it was like all like slanted and like I don't know what shit.
Mhm.
And so I was like, let me just check my scissors because I have my diamond painting stuff like set up because I had been using it. And there's just like strands of hair just stuck to my diamond painting scissors. And I was like, Ari, I was like, you're not in trouble, dude. But like, did you cut your hair? You know what I mean? Because there's 2 other kids in this house. Like, I was like, maybe she got the 9-year-old to help her cut her hair. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she's like, I cut it because I wanted it short. And I was like, and I was like, all right. I was like, well, I have like 2 options here. I
Right.
was like, I can either cut it now or you're going to go to school with it looking like wonky because I'm not going to be able to get her to Dolly's till like next week. And
Yeah.
she's like, just cut it. So it is short, but it's healthy. It's real curly.
Oh, we love that. Let's see. Yeah, Renee says, I have gone years cutting my own hair partly because I get toothpaste and gum in my hair.
Okay, I'm glad
But
that you
also
like
I am
it.
very impulsive. I've done my own bangs before and it turns out
Yeah.
okay.
I've cut my hair before, like just to, especially like during the COVID days where I just didn't
Yeah.
want to bother.
And when I say done my own bangs, I mean I've trimmed bangs that someone else already cut for me.
Mhm.
Or like, because they always want to do my bangs thinner than my hair wants them to be. So I'll always have like pieces that are still like
With-
falling forward into my
Mhm.
face. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going away.
Yep.
I can't do it. Oh, okay. Veronica Roth wanted to do all of the houses and sorting and stuff.
I can probably put it into a ponytail.
Which I feel is it's also very prevalent in dystopians because you also have The Darkest Mind where everyone's sorted. All the factions and how each faction is like a different personality or type or whatever, like the Hogwarts houses. Yeah. I do know that there is a trans character that comes later in the series that apparently hasn't aged very well. Ooh, boy. Wonder if that's part of the series that Brandon wrote.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. There's definite room for improvement, but for where we were in 1995,
Mhm.
I can't. Like, I was pleasantly surprised with how well he handled certain things. I DNF'd Eye of the World as He in the 90s. Even though my tastes may have changed, I have not yet ready to reattempt. It's a long series. I know it is.
It's long. And that's the thing. This all came about with me. I have all the books and I haven't read them, and I'm like,
Just this down because it's so
somebody-
short. And I'm gonna go back to
And you know what? It's your read along. So like, if you need to, you can just be like, we're gonna do it every other month. This will be a 2-year project.
we did discuss that like later because some of the books will change as we go along that we might have to adjust according to the book.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let's see. Jamie says, I almost always cut my own hair, usually at about 3 a.m. when it's gotten too long and is bugging me. I understand that. I need to check and see when I'm supposed to be going into Aveda for my next thingy thing because I am out of town the next weekend. And I think that's when I'm supposed to go. I'll figure that out in a little bit. Yes. Oops. I see. I was reading Mercedes Lackey in 1995, which is very progressive even for now. So Eye of the World was quite a contrast. My mother was also reading Mercedes Lackey in 1995, and I have so many questions. Like, I remember her in the late 90s complaining about some of the the fact that there was queer representation in Mercedes Lackey's books. She also read a lot of Anne McCaffrey. Like, I read the Acorna series when I was like 13 or 14. But I'm just like, that, she had me watching Next Generation. She had me watching Star Trek as a child. And I have so many, like, how was she not complaining about every other episode? Because, like, so many of the episodes are political.
Mm-hmm. Most of them are.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're all. You got really dumb episodes, like silly, goofy episodes. But I'm just like. And then, like, knowing, like, she also liked Deep Space Nine until they botched it at the very, very end. So it's like, I don't. She definitely used to be a little bit more just a little bit more progressive than she is. So I don't know. Like, yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say, especially in regards to the show, there have to be some books that are completely useless and don't do anything. So Raph and Co should be okay cutting them. I mean, you do it as you adapt it. It's very progressive. Lots of queer rep, like all of the letters in in the 80s and 90s. How was my mother reading these? I don't understand. Like, I knew it happened later in the 90s. I didn't realize it was. What would you? Okay, so for someone who has not read any Mercedes Lackey and would like to, what would you suggest? Drop that in the comments while we do this next sprint, please and thank you, because I should read some of that. It sounds very good. Anyways, shall we do another sprint?
I need to head out, but thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining.
It was fun. I'll see you later. Bye.
Yep. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Okay. Let us pull this up and we will do another 45. We talked for a very long time. Wow.
Everyone was so invested in the fact that Ari cut her own hair. It's fine.
Oh my god. Like, we spent before we even got to the comments. Okay, so let us start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Sure.
Then there's another
There we go. And we're back. Hello. Did I get much reading done? I don't think so. We got, like, this is one of those books where a lot happens, but I feel like the chapters are really short because of what's going on. So we don't hear. So how did everyone do? Hold on. I'm looking for, I actually I did get through quite a, okay. Okay, give me just a second. Okay. There we go. Okay, I got to page 52 in that sprint. So that's not bad. Do you want to work? There we go. That was 33 pages. I did have to stop to finish. I had to do thinking with my video. So speaking of which, it is now scheduled for, why am I doing that when I have a bookmark? I would use anything but a bookmark, really. It's very interesting how the pages have like this spattered effect on them. So it is not Jade, by the way, writing these little articles. It's someone else who is a high schooler. We've got a new main character almost, I guess. So let me do. Ooh, okay, wow. Give me just a second. I'm going to screenshot this so that I can, or take a picture of this so that I can reference it later when I need to. Got it. All right, perfect. So how did everyone else do? I'll look at this. Renee suggests starting with the 500 Kingdoms series for Mercedes Lackey. That's her fairy tale retelling series. I know about that one. Purple Dragonfly says her favorite series is the Valdemar, and it's a long series with a few entry points, but the writing definitely improves as the series goes on. Love it. Let me pull that. If you guys are interested in reading the rest of Purple Dragonfly's stuff, but I'm going to reference that later when I have time to actually look at my library. Michaela had to leave because she's got to finish work and do dinner stuff before Brittany sprints. Butterflies and Books. Hi, listening to Their Vicious Games. This is the last one because I need to run some errands before we do D&D. So there's that. Jamie B got to 55% and got some dishes done. Very nice. Pre-reading a book for my nephew, and it's a bit iffy. This is why I pre-read. Yeah, that is why. Renee finished the anthology and got 2 chapters into Map Makers by Tamsin Merchant, which is a middle grade series. So yeah, I've not read a thing and taking out the Christmas tree and making and having lunch. Sorry. Taking out the Christmas tree is a chore, and that's productive. Chores are productive. These are productivity sprints, and I just happen to be doing them while reading because YouTube likes productivity sprints better. Anyways, I'm not bitter about that at all. Max says, when you try to assemble new furniture by yourself and you got one part done, but the rest of it might involve more arms than you have, so you need a pizza break. I have been known to involve legs as well, other walls. I've gotten creative trying to put some stuff together because I didn't want to wait until my dad was available. And it's my desk. It's working pretty well. So, that's not doing too bad. Anyways, Kay says, I have no focus today. I have no idea what I read. It sounds like a good book, but maybe tomorrow. You know what? Sometimes you just don't read. That was me for most of December because I thought, here's a funny story. So Bookly is annoying as can be because they don't just count the books that you finished towards your books you've read that year. They count the books you are currently reading, whether or not you've marked them as done. So Bookly was telling me that I had 99 books to go to get to 99 books completed in 2023. So I only needed to read one more book. So I was like, oh, cool. I don't need to do a lot more reading the rest of this year. I can focus on other things. But then I entered everything that I'd actually read into Goodreads, and I'm at 89. I'm so mad. Like, I started deleting some of the ones that I'd started but not gotten too far into, so I'm gonna end up restarting them. And I was like, that number of books I read in 2023 is going down. Whose idea is this? I don't like it. I don't like it. No. You are welcome, Kay. Max says, oh yeah, there's certainly other positions I've had to utilize for things, but food first. I don't blame you. We're gonna go see if I can salvage my attempt at mashed potatoes last night, because they weren't bad. It's just that I ended up less with mashed potatoes and more with like potato dough, which was delicious. I won't be wrong. Don't get me wrong. But I put a little bit too much of the potato starch water when I was like, oh, this is a little dry. So I'm mixing more. And then I'm like, oh, this is not dry at all anymore. Let's see, getting food. And then I'll see if other positions will be at all helpful. Nice, nice. What are you building, Max? What kind of furniture are we doing? Is this a bookshelf? Is this a desk? We doing a chair? Dining room table? Credenza? I saw somebody on Twitter call a credenza a dresser. And I'm like, babe, dressers have drawers. That's what makes them dressers. And they're for storing clothes. This has doors, and it's all doors and shelves. That's not a dresser. So, yeah, those are kind of fiddly. Clothes rack kind of thing. Those are fiddly even when you get them done. I spent a lot of college pushing around the clothes rack. So, is that still recording? Did I turn it off? I was filming my wrap up for the vlog that's in theory going out Friday. I want to get it out on Friday. I'm going to try and do consistent days that I'm doing videos with consistent amount of time between, but we'll see how well that goes. You saw how well the rest of it went with the rest of it, or with what I was doing earlier. And it did end up being that stupid graphic. I think I already said that. It ended up being that silly graphic. Because I don't know why. I guess it just didn't want to. But I'm actually very proud of myself, because this is the second book that is actually on my TBR, which I have to do in order this time. So I'm very proud of myself for that. And I'm loving this. I'm very glad I picked this up. It is like, I don't know, Stephen Graham Jones just writes so well, and he's one of the few male authors that I've been like, you know what? I don't even feel weird that this female main character was like, he gets it. He gets on like a very deep level, or does at least a passable job of understanding how girls think. So I'm like, okay, you know what? He clearly knows what he's doing and knows what he's writing, and I'm not mad about it. Eventually another bookshelf, but methinks I'm going to figure out if the first piece is enough exercise for the day. It's all right. You do one piece of furniture one day, another piece of furniture another. It's almost the end of the day anyways. Just, hang out, chill. I think I'm going to, at some point soon, be replacing these guys that you guys can't see right now, but they're part of my backdrop. Because there it is. I want to get rid of the purple. I like it, but I kind of want to get something that's going to be a little bit more feasible when it comes to filming. So look better in backgrounds and stuff like that. So assembling furniture counts as exercise. It does. It's your cardio for the day. Also, doing your physical TBR check-in counts as exercise. What was it? Sunday was definitely arm day. I am still sore from all holding the books up. Like, it was bad. And other such chores. Yes, certain chores do count as exercise. Okay, you know what? We've got a few minutes left. So why don't we, instead of just like me rambling on for who knows how many minutes, why don't we just do a short, let's do a 15-minute sprint. And that'll get me solidly into 5 o'clock, give me time to prepare for all the stuff that I need to, the errands that I need to do. And then we'll sign off. If you weren't here earlier, the tip that we were talking about at the very beginning of the stream is that if you do a 3-hour stream, YouTube promotes it better. So if you see me streaming, I will be here for at least 3 hours. The meme where you do push-ups with books, yeah, that was like it was doing bicep curls with books on Monday, or no, Sunday. Days get so confusing when you don't have to go into work on a regular basis anymore. We get to work from home, which I did do some work. Oh, I need to respond to that text, by the way. All right, let me pull up. Give me just a second. There it is. We'll pull that up again. All right, so one more real quick, real short sprint to get us to the end, and get those final few things wrapped up and done. And then we will say au revoir. So 3, 2, 1, let's Sorry. We ended that on finding out that someone named their baby Dream. All right. So that was it. That was the last sprint, y'all. How did we do? I read some pages. We are further in than we were. And it's not. So I just found out no, we already found that out. So whoever is writing these articles, we know from the last book. Yeah, Dream. I think that's what she said. Let's see. I'm gonna double check. Oh, I didn't hear that correctly. It's Adrienne. That's much better. It didn't sound like Adrienne on the audiobook, but I'll rewind that and listen to it again. Hello, Rope Crewman. Yes, coming in at the tail end. Oops. There will be more sprints. I think I may find a different day to do sprints this week because my brother's going to be down on Saturday, so I may do something a little bit different later. Happy 2024, Elena. Renee did some chores. Nice. Yeah, much better. Max is eating leftover pizza and watching Jessica's new How to ADHD video. I know. I'm very excited about her book. I got all of my library books that need to go back down to my car because it was a lot. I was like, I'm just going to take these down now. And I need to confirm that my mother returned the books that that my father checked out in my name or under my name. You are welcome, Ro. And then we're going to go fix the tires. And I'm going to run some errands before we have D&D in a couple of hours. Jamie B finished a bit more on my book and finally reheated my coffee. Now to actually... I'm over here chugging this cup of tea because I made it and it's still hot. And I was like going to be holding it while I was finishing up this vlog and I completely forgot. My bad. Anyways, so thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please do check out my TBR when it comes out in about an hour and 15 minutes. I will actually let me do one. I'm going to do this. Hold on. Give me a second. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this first. If you guys want to go and like set a reminder. Here is mine. And then let me see if I can pull up a link for, because Brittany, if you need more sprints, especially like Rope Crewman, if you need more sprints, Brittany is going to be doing some. Oh, look at that. The first thing that comes up. So let's go here. Let's go here. And then you guys have, oh my God, why does this not want to tell me? Okay, there we go. Okay, there you go. If you need more sprints, yeah, well, go to, if it's time for bed, you should go to bed. Definitely. But this is the link for my YouTube for my video that's going to be going up. If y'all want to go just like, I don't know, tell YouTube to notify you. And then that's the link for Brittany's sprints that are happening in 44 minutes. I believe she starts at 6. I could check. She does in fact start at 6 o'clock. So, and then Jamie B, I have to finally make my 2023 wrap-up video now. I am going to do, so because I didn't do any wrapping up of my books for 2023. My last wrap-up was my December wrap-up of 2022. If I even posted that. Did I post that? I don't know. I can't remember. That might still be sitting on a memory card. I know for a fact the December-February one is still sitting on a memory card. And if people are interested in seeing that, I'll post it, but I don't think people are interested in seeing a wrap-up a year later. But I am going to be, so basically what my content's going to be looking at, physical TBR check-in is, oh, shut up, hush. Okay, physical TBR check-in is next Monday. I am doing worst books the Monday after and best books the next Monday. And then the final video for January, sit down video for January, is going to be my 2023 superlatives, basically, which is going to be me going over other books that I read this year that I wanted to talk about, but didn't get around to talking about in the wrap up. I am going to Little Thieves is going to be on my best. No, Little Thieves is not going to be on my best books. It's going Painted Devils is going to be on my best books of 2023 because I did not read it for the first time last year. But you guys, that's not a spoiler. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to build up to that kind of stuff, because 12 Days of Margaret didn't happen this year. I haven't been doing content on a regular basis, and so I just want to get to doing content on a more regular basis, and we'll go from there. So anyways, thank y'all. There we go. Oop, get rid of that. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I will be back probably next Tuesday. Oh, wow. It's going to be like 2 Saturdays that you guys aren't going to have me at all. Sprinting is going to be spotty. We'll see. We'll see. I know for a fact I'll be sprinting with Leandra on the 14th. And then I'll have to find some other time to do sprints this week and next week, because, just to keep things going for y'all. Anyways, I am so glad that you joined me. Have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever the time is where you are. And happy reading. And I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye.